Hello everyone, this is me, Debasis, and as you can see right behind me is the Indian net session going on, and I have with me the BBC cricket correspondent Joe Wilson with me. How do you look forward to England's chances at the Lords?
Well, they need something to change, don't they? Because it wasn't just that they lost that second test, but really, I think anybody would look at it and admit that India were dominant for 5 days. The difference between second test and a first test is that India carried on their performance for the full 5 days, and they won a test match that they deserved to do. Now, we were talking a lot, weren't we, in the build-up to the second test? Is it sensible for India to rest Jasprit? Come on, you need to win this test match. And look, they go and win without him. So imagine that bowling attack, which was so strong, and then for Jasprit to come back. A lot of questions for England to answer. A lot of issues for them to think about, I think.
Talking about the build-up, Joe, obviously you were in news. Obviously the Indian captain, he was looking for after you because of your comment in the pre-match press conference. You said that India hasn't won at Edgbaston, and your statement eventually it was proven wrong.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think what the captain said very sensibly was if you look back over the time, if you look back to 1960s, 1970s, even 1980s, let's say it was a very different feel about the India test team here. When they would come abroad, would never really have the expectation perhaps to win. Now they do have the expectation. So maybe that was just statistics playing with us in terms of history. Maybe it was a motivation because we've almost lost count of the records that Shubman himself and India broke during that test match. And how to get Shubman Gill out, maybe that's number one question in the mind of the England coaches right here today.
But would you change your question when you meet Shubman again in the pre-match press conference tomorrow?
I would say anything that would motivate him. I think he always...
Would you reckon that you were motivating Shubman Gill?
Maybe, who knows? I think he's a real gentleman, and I think he answers every question with great dignity and intelligence, don't you? So I think he's leading his team very well in all departments, especially in the media. So we love to talk about stats, don't we? It's part of the fun.
Yeah, Joe, obviously coming back to England means we won all, means obviously everything to look forward to the Lord's Test. Do you reckon England will bolster their pace attack by including both Gus Atkinson and Jofra Archer?
Well, it obviously depends on how fit they think they are, and Gus Atkinson is coming back from injury, but he's been such a key part of England's test team for the last 12, 18 months, a really key part. Perhaps we forget about that and overlook that. I think everything points to the fact that they would pick Jofra Archer if they think that he's fit enough, because they will have memories of what happened here in 2019, as all England supporters do. I think England have got to do something to change the dynamic now, haven't they? And bringing in Jofra Archer, one might be a surprise element, but of course in India you know him well from his performances in the IPL. Perhaps you've seen more of him in India recently than cricket supporters have in England to some degree.
What on Gus Atkinson? Has he totally recovered from the hamstring injury he suffered in that one of test against Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I don't know. All we can really say for definite is we have seen him, haven't we, with the England team, and he seemed to be practicing pretty well. But there's always a risk factor with bringing back a fast bowler. And with Jasprit Bumrah, sometimes it's important to rest your key guys. So that's a balancing act for England. But to really reassert the momentum in this series, they have to try and win this lost test match, don't they?
And what do you make out of Ben Stokes' comment in the post-match press conference at Edgbaston, where he said that it looked like a subcontinent wicket, the wicket at Edgbaston? And so do you reckon that the Lords will offer a pretty much bounce, seam and swing movement for the fast bowlers?
Well, I think that seems to be the indication that they wanted that to happen. I mean, you absolutely take on board what he says. I mean, when you tell people England about a subcontinental pitch, they might think about a pitch that's going to really turn after day 2, day 3. Clearly, it wasn't doing that. I think it was a pitch that lasted 5 days and enabled India to win. But I think everything amongst the England side of things suggests that they want a match in some way, either with pitch or with the bowlers, that enables them to take more wickets. So maybe it will not be a 5-day test match, this one.
That's a big statement from Joe. He reckons that it might not be a 5-day test match. We'll hope. Means obviously that's it for now. This is me, Debasis, for Revsportz. Keep watching.